Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, De Proenzas. Today, we will explore the detailed steps of the book, The One Page Marketing Plan by Alan Dibb. And, well, let me introduce a little bit myself. I'm Giovanna Proença. I am a software developer, and this is Rodrigo.
I'm also a software developer, but we both really enjoy business, history, politics. So this podcast will be about those topics. And today we'll start talking about the one-page marketing plan, which in my opinion is the best marketing plan you can read in a concise, practical manner. So today we'll explore a little bit about that, and Giovanna will help me kind of introduce this book. So Giovanna, uh, you want to talk a little bit about the book and any questions you have?
Yeah, so I want to know why this book is so special and why the author decided to build this kind of a checklist for us to for the market plan.
What I like about this book is how practical and concise it is. So most books about marketing are extremely like mumbo jumbo, just like rambling on and on about random stuff because they're academic. This book was written by an engineer, Alan Deep, who wanted to know more about marketing but was tired of just academic books. So he wrote a book that goes straight to the point, gives you practical steps to implement marketing strategies in your personal life or in a business. So if you want to start a business, this is the book you need to read before getting started. Practical, concise, and short. So you can read while you're driving, and it's in one page, which makes it so practical.
Yeah, this is not my next question. Why the name of the book is One Page Marketing Plan?
Yeah, so his idea was that most business plans are too long. So you spend a lot of time writing business plans and just multiple pages, your financial projections and your marketing research. But once you're done with that, he said in his own life he had written a plan with 100 pages, put it in a drawer somewhere and just forgot about it. So there is not much value on a plan that you don't always go back to remind yourself of your strategy. So this Giovanna is sharing here the one pager that he shares in the book, and I really recommend downloading this as a resource. And the great thing about this is you can just like pin in your wall and read it and remind yourself every day of what you've written, and it forces you to be concise and straight to the point. So that's, I think, the great benefit of this book. And in today's podcast, we'll go over each one of them in a practical manner. So hopefully, we recommend you to read the book, but also with this podcast, you get the gist of the book.
Well, so let's get us started directly with the first topic then, which is understanding your market, your target market. So I want to understand why it's important to know your audience before creating a marketing strategy. And this is the first topic here, as we can see in the one page plan.
So as a beginner entrepreneur, a lot of people want to just reach everyone. People think that if you just like send messages to any person, anywhere, anytime, you get a response back. Me and Giovanna have worked in a business in the past, like a coding business. And one thing we realize over time is that for our particular business, which is coding classes for professionals, there is a very specific profile of the people who actually buy the product. Maybe a lot of people show interest, but the people who actually buy are very specific. So the idea of this section of the book is to be very clear. Hey, what is the avatar of the people who will buy your product? The reason, so when I saw this for the first time, I was like, okay, this is kind of some HR BS of just writing an avatar. But it's very important because you can start actually getting to the mind of the person you're gonna sell. So if you write down who this person is, what age is he, where does he work, where does he live. You start thinking also about where this person hangs out, not only physically but online. What sort of communities does this person go to? What kind of conferences? What kind of YouTube channels? So that way you can niche down on the target audience, saving resources, being more efficient, and not wasting your time. Because if you just aim everywhere, it doesn't really work. So as a beginner entrepreneur, he really recommends you to niche down as much as possible. So let's say you want to start a pool cleaning business. Instead of just being a general pool cleaner, you can specialize in mansions pool cleaning. Maybe mansions have larger pools. They want to have premium cleaning services. They want privacy. So if you market to this specific audience, your rate of return will be much bigger than if you just sold a general pool cleaning service. So that's the first idea he shares in the podcast. Not in the podcast, in the book. But I'm
Yeah.
sharing here in the podcast.
And also understanding the pain points of those clients, right? What they are
Yeah.
looking for. And this kind of relates with the next topic, which is crafting your message. In the book, Alan mentioned about the unique value proposition. So I want to understand what this means and why is it so important?
So once you understand the avatar of the person, you understand and you hang out in that person's environment. So let's say you go to Reddit and you start looking at what people are talking about pools. Let's give an example. You start understanding their pain points more specifically. So maybe people with large pools, it's always, I don't know, the people start gossiping about their family, or they are not professional, they don't show up on time. So once you niche down to a specific avatar, you can also understand their pains more specifically. So you can start crafting a unique value proposition, which is for that specific target audience. What kind of message can I craft that will, when that person reads, they will say, "Oh, that's me. That's something made for me." So in our coding business, we basically say, "Hey, you are busy. You don't have a lot of time. You probably tried to learn how to code before, but you quit after a few weeks." And that is the case for 99% of our customer base. Uh, so that person is much more likely to say, "This person understands me." So he won't fix a general person's problem. He's actually fixing my problems. So this is what this part of the one-page marketing plan is about. So what will you provide for that specific avatar that is different from other services in that area?
And that's we have a really good example here, the Dollar Shave Club, right? That in the
Uh-huh.
beginning they wanted to get inside of this razor market, but other companies they were already large enough in this aspect. And then they realized that most of the customers they need to go to the shop to buy the razors, or they forget about it. So they decided to build a simple but powerful unique value proposition, which is high quality razors delivered to your door, so you don't need to go out there. They will deliver for you every month. So with
Without you
that,
having to think. So making
yes.
it more convenient for you. So they understood their target audience. They said, "Hey, men are forgetful. I lose my keys all the time. I will
Yes.
forget to buy razors. So let's make this person's life easier by shipping." Amazon now, if you're in the US, I don't know if in other parts now, they have recurring delivery. So you can just schedule every 2 weeks, I'll get soap. So that's a great value proposition. Makes your life easier, right? Is solving a problem of people being busy and forgetting things.
Yeah. So once you have your target market, once you have your message, then I know that Alan Dibb, he mentions about selecting the right media. So why is it crucial to select the right media to reach your target audience? And what are the risks of not choosing the right one?
So the pool example is a good one. Let's say you are in the business of selling pool cleaning services to rich people. Uh, I don't know if you market this in a, I don't know, in a
TikTok.
TikTok. TikTok is
Yeah.
a good example. Most people on TikTok don't own houses. Imagine pools. So it's not a good place, right? Now, people who have pools in large houses, maybe they play golf as well. So maybe if you market in a mailing list of people who practice golf, that's a good mailing list.
Or
Maybe
Facebook.
they, or Facebook, which is an older crowd. Maybe you target LinkedIn business owners. So where do these people hang out? That's the question. So back in the day, you would do this physically. So you would have to go to the actual golf course, maybe sign up to the club, mingle a little bit with the people at the golf club. Now you can do all of this online. So where do these rich people hang out? Maybe there's some sort of boats mailing list. People who have boats probably have a lot of money, so they also have pools you can market your service to. So that's the thing. Most people, when they start a business, amateur business people, they wanna just reach everyone. I think people who get more experience understand you need to talk to a specific group of people to the exclusion of everyone else. So picking the right media depends on steps 1 and 2. Uh, that's why it's kind of like a ladder. You go step by step. Step with writing number 1, number 2, and number 3 to build on top of each other.
And we can also mention our own YouTube channel, right? We realize that most of the people, you can explain a little bit better how it works, right? Our sales funnel, maybe, and let me share here.
So basically, people who are learning coding, specifically CS50, they will be watching tutorials online on YouTube specifically because it is kind of a long. Uh, it's hard to understand coding, so people will probably type on Google how to learn how to code or how to solve a specific problem. Our YouTube channel caters to this kind of people. So we have videos that explain coding concepts. We have shorts that answers common questions from people who are learning how to code specifically through Harvard CS50. So we really niche down our audience. It's not a general coding person. It's someone who's studying programming, specifically this course. So that made the business run because it's very specific. And that require a little bit of trial and error. So not necessarily you're gonna go and just find your niche. So maybe you can test the waters by posting content. Shorts, I think, is great because you don't need to edit, or you can run ad campaigns, see how they perform, do some A/B testing to see what kind of niche and what kind of message works for a specific audience.
Yes. Well, so now moving forward to the next topic of the book, we already learned a little bit more about how to prospect new clients. Now, how can we manage the part of capturing those leads? So they have our attention. Now, how can we get their emails or any other form of contact?
So the mistake people make, and I follow a couple of YouTube channels that are very big. We're talking here maybe 100K people. They have a large audience and they want to make money through ads. YouTube ads, Google ads. But the book says that when people see you for the first time, they don't have the intent of buying right now. It doesn't mean they won't buy from you at some point, but 97% of people are not ready to buy from you right now. If they just saw your video and that's it, that's your relationship with that person, it's over, because you're not keeping a conversation going with that person over time, so that when they decide to buy, you're top of their mind. You want to be top of their mind in your niche. And the way you do that is through some sort of lead capturing system. So a lead capture is fairly easy. You're going to provide some sort of value to the person. That can be either an ebook, some sort of training, webinar, course for free in exchange for their contact information. This is a very simple thing to do with page builders nowadays. You can use ClickFunnels, you can use Kartra, you can use WordPress, Wix. The important thing is getting the person's contact. By having their contact, you will trigger an automation that will send that person multiple emails, so that person stays in touch with you over time. And the idea is to really provide value, not be salesy all the time, because otherwise that person will unsubscribe. You want to actually teach that person something that they don't know. Giving the example of the pool cleaning business, maybe you educate them on different kinds of like cleaning equipment, of different kinds of
Products to use.
products. Maybe you teach them how to throw a party at your pool so you can use your pool. So you can educate that person on a topic they know less than you, so that you're seen as an authority. And you need to keep that going weekly, because sometimes people buy from you after years. So we've had people reach out to us after 2 or 3 years that they finally bought the product after a long time. So having a mailing list, even in 2024, is very important, because you own your list. If you're relying on the Facebook, Instagram algorithm, you are a hostage to them. You are renting your clients to them. So ideally, you want to get people's email as soon as possible.
Yeah, and also using another example like our business, right? Here, again, as Rodrigo mentioned, we are a school of programming, but here this is our landing page where people can get an ebook for free, and we're teaching what are the top mistakes so people can avoid. So again, creating this relationship with the potential clients, right?
Exactly. So that's the step you wanna do. And the next step, I know I'm skipping a little bit,
No,
but
you
you
can.
can show
No
already, is
problem.
what I just said, which is nurturing the leads. Uh, that's right, right? Is it
Yes, this is
nurturing the leads?
nurturing the leads.
So nurturing
Yes.
the leads, like I said, is providing value to people. Once you nurture the leads, you need some sort of system to convert those people into sales. So how does that work? You can there are multiple ways. I recommend the book Launch, that gives you a framework on how to launch a product, an online product. You can send that person a sequence of emails with some sort of urgency. Uh, you can do that through a coupon. You can do that through limited spots, limited time to sign up, giving the person urgency to buy your product. So you're going to say, hey, you've been around here in my mailing list for a long time. Hopefully, you got a lot of value. Now that I educated you on how to clean your pool, different kinds of equipment, you can do it yourself. If you can, great. But I can save you a lot of time for a fair price. I can come to your place. We have very professional employees. Look at our reviews, and we can do everything for you for this price. And you have 48 hours to decide whether or not you wanna get in business with us. That's the conversion strategy. One thing we see that works a lot is urgency. You can have a rolling purchasing system where you have some sort of service that is always, people can always buy, but having this launch idea really works because people are lazy and they only buy when it's limited oftentimes. So one book I recommend is reading the book Influence by Cialdini, that gives kind of the research behind the triggers for influencing people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it complements this book really well.
And I think there's also, we can continue discussing about the sales conversion strategy, as you mentioned. So, do you have any other point to give besides coupons and maybe meeting the person, or I don't know?
I think it depends on the stage of where you are in your business, online business, or business in general cycle. If you just got started, no one trusts you. So the more you can actually talk to people face to face or online through Zoom, the better. Because one of the reasons people don't buy is they don't trust you. There are a lot of scams online. So making sure you are someone trustworthy makes conversion happen. So we recommend some sort of automation where people can schedule a Zoom call with you. There are multiple apps for scheduling. You can look into Calendly, into Tidycall, and they will automate this whole process for you. And I think for small businesses, this is a great strategy. As you grow, obviously, you can use something more low touch, something where you don't have to talk to every single customer. But I do think most people will benefit a lot from having this face to face strategy to convert more. I think one of the biggest mistakes of beginner entrepreneurs is uh, being the idea person and not actually being the trenches, selling, calling, following up, kind of doing the grunt work. You're not above this work. Nobody is. Like, this is extremely necessary for getting some traction. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, the idea of a hustler, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, so we already discussed the two initial parts of the book, which is prospecting and also capturing those leads. Now we can go to the final part, which is maintaining those leads with you for a long time, delivering a good service as well. So, first, let's discuss this part of delivering a world class experience. What does it mean for customers?
I think one of the things that one famous case that illustrates this failing, uh, I think there is a documentary on Netflix called Fire, which is this musical festival where they do this
Yeah.
crazy advertisement with like Victoria's Secret models showing like this luxurious lifestyle in this island in the Caribbean with great food. And a lot of people bought into that. So all that work from the 6 first stages we just talked about were done perfectly. But once they got to the island, it was like a swamp. Everything was like, all the tents were like, I think there was some sort of storm that just knocked over all the tents. So the tents, they like were all not set up when they
Destroyed.
got destroyed. The food was just like bread
Mac
with
and
cheese,
cheese.
some like BS stuff, and obviously, like, people hated this guy. This guy got sued because it was bad advertising. So it doesn't matter if you do all this marketing and your product is not good. The idea, I've bought a lot of online products over time, and some of them really stood out as me feeling like I got more than I paid for. I think that's the kind of feeling you want your customers to feel. They paid $10, but they got $50 back in value. So always providing more value than you promise. Uh, these can be often done in a lot of these world class experiences you can do in an automated way. By the way, Alan Dib uh, talks how he used that in his own book promotion one-page marketing plan. So he had his assistant ship his book to every single podcaster he would talk to, promoting the book 2 weeks before, I think, with some chocolate. And he did this in kind of an automated way. So he would like, as soon as he put someone's address, a robot would automatically go to Amazon and ship the book with some sort of like gift cards to the person.
Uh-huh.
So that's created like a world-class experience. So if you can hire someone in IT to create this kind of automations that will onboard your clients, will ask for reviews, will ask if they need any help, that really helps in providing a world-class experience. Relying on humans' will to do things is never a good idea. So do spend the time on really creating a great product. Don't just promise and that's it.
Yeah, and creating an experience where the customer don't need to think, right? This is the
Exactly.
most
Yeah, like
important.
as the famous book "Don't Make Me Think" says, which I really recommend. If like I bought a kite, I like kite surfing. I just bought a kite, so like 2 screws were missing. So then I needed to look up online what kind of screw for my specific board I needed to buy so I could fix that. I didn't even know where to buy, so like I had to find Home Depot close to me. So I went to Home Depot, asked someone, and that was the day I was about to like surf for the first time. Came back, had to screw the thing myself. Went to the kite surfing spot. Then one of the parts of my kite were missing. They never told me I needed to buy this extra part. So my experience was not positive. Like I had a lot of questions and things missing from my experience that were not solved by the business. So that would have been a great opportunity for them to say, hey, here is everything you need as a beginner kite surfer. Then they send me a sequence of emails with tutorials on how to kite surf. Then maybe they can like schedule a Zoom call with a specialist to go over 30 minutes with me on the safety measures I should take before my kite surfing session. So observe how much relationship and money they could have made from me only with very simple automations. And 99% of business don't do the meats and potatoes of like basic, you know, marketing and like following up. So if you do that, you will stand out. You will stand out.
Yeah, and it's nice that you already mentioned the next topic, which is increasing the customer lifetime value. I know he mentions about cross sell and upsell, so let's understand a little bit more what it means.
Yeah. So like I said, like when you sell a kite, you're not selling a kite. Try to think what kind of problem you're selling. So kite surfing, what problem, what pain, and I'm really uh, looking to alleviate by kite surfing. Well, software is kind of a stressful job, so I need to like relax a little bit, right? So kite surfing is in the business of leisure, is in the business of relaxation. So are you really in the business of kite surfing or are you in the business of leisure? You're in the business of leisure. So you can offer other things aside from kite surfing. So someone like myself, since I want to relax, since probably I have some disposable income, maybe they could sell trips to great kite spots around the world with a discount. And these spots, I'll have some sort of instructor that will like keep an eye on me. I'll have some like experiences there, maybe some cooking classes. Uh, so really packaging uh, yourself not as a kite surfing business, but as a leisure business. Maybe people who kite surf also like snowboarding. They also like surfing. They like hiking. So you can start offering things on the side that are very make a lot of sense if you understand that you're in the business of solving a pain, not in the business of kite surfing. I like UFC a lot. One of the things I see a lot of people in the fighting business is saying, "No, I'm not gonna have an Instagram account. I'm just gonna fight, focus on my technique, and that's it." And that's a big mistake because they don't understand they're not in the business fighting, the fighting business. They're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
So being an entertainer comes before being a fighter. So that means you need to like create drama, gossips. You need to like talk to the media. You need to like create storylines that will help UFC sell your fight. Otherwise, people pay UFC for entertainment. So you gotta offer entertainment. So I think people have a hard time having this deeper level thinking of understanding that what they do is not really what they do. They do something deeper. And I think upselling, cross selling goes to this point of take a step back and look into the underlying issue pain the person is trying to solve. And then you have a lot of other business opportunities on the side.
Yes. And well, now let's go to the last topic, which is generating referrals. So at the end of this whole sales funnel, how can we, why it is important to get reviews and how people can do that as well.
Yeah, so if you've done everything right now, this is part must be relatively easy, which is asking people to refer to you and give reviews. I like saying you need to do this automatically. So let's say you use Stripe or some sort of other payment gateway. As soon as someone pays, that triggers an automation that maybe after 30 days you ask the person for a review, or you ask the person for a referral with a gift card or some sort of coupon. Because you've done most of the work, you've done the hardest part, which is building trust. Now that trust is built, it's just about asking. There is a great book I read recently called, I think it's called $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. He's the founder of AppSumo and TidyCall, which I just
Uh-huh.
talked about. And he has a chapter on going to a coffee shop and asking people for a 10% discount. And then my people say like, what the hell, why would I say that? His reasoning is that you gotta get into the habit of asking questions and being rejected. That's a key skill in business. So when you ask for a discount for no reason at a coffee shop, you're training the muscle of asking things, expecting people to reject you. So like a lot of people don't get more business just because like they don't ask. So if you go to your customer and say, "Hey, can you refer me to three friends? Like, did you like your product? Can you refer to three friends? It would really help my business." Most people would say yes, and they often don't do it because people don't ask. So I think automating the process of asking people for referrals and for reviews is key to like a complete marketing system.
Right. Well, so with this, we complete the main important topics for this book. So I want to ask you if you have any last words for our podcast since we're reaching the end of it. So,
Uh-huh. I think
um,
that's it. I think you should definitely read this book. You should definitely put your email in our mailing list at the description, which is the top 10 books to understand the world, that I kind of summarize the top 10 books that influenced me the most to in economics, human nature. So that's a great list of books, and we're using the One Marketing Plan on you. uh, so yeah. So one advice I would say is try to start being aware also of sales funnels from other people. So when you sign up from our mailing list, you actually see how we did everything we talk here on you. So you can start copying things, little things here and there that you can apply in your own business. So I'm always signing up for other people's list and looking at their sales strategy, because you learn a lot from just being cognizant of what people are doing that convinces you to make a purchase. So every time you buy something, instead of just buying, try to understand, like, why did I do it? For example, if you go to a coffee shop, is it because, like, I like the customer service, the coffee taste is really good, the location is good? I think most people go through life without thinking on why they buy things, and there is a lot of learning you can do by just being aware. So try to be aware of marketing in your own life. That's what my last words, I would say.
Thank you so much for watching our podcast today, and see you all in
In
next
the
week
next podcast,
in the
yes.
next podcast.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.
See you.